And I also just wanted to ask, like, what the racial situation is in Ocoee now, because there was a point in the documentary I found interesting where, I was going along and thinking, yeah, this is something that happened 100 years and, things have gotten better, right? But,
Mhm.
you talked to a African-American woman who talked about she moved to Ocoee in the late 90s, and she was at the Ocoee Walmart one day and everyone was looking at her and she asked, why is everyone looking at me? And it was because, well, you're black and
Right.
we don't, we're not used to that here. And that was even 20 years ago. I'm just wondering if things have changed since then even.
Well, I have an even better story for you than that. And by the way, that woman you're referring to, her daughter um, didn't find out about the massacre until she filed for financial aid when she was going to college, and that would have been in the 2000s. So, a better story for you is that just this week, I interviewed the dean of the Florida A&M University Law School, very highly educated, very well researched. Um, Woman and Yale educated. And she told me that while she was watching this documentary, she started talking to people, and she recalled a time when she moved here earlier this year, and she would tell people that she lived in Ocoee just this year. And people would say, really? Why Ocoee? Just this week, she told me that story. And similar reaction when my family moved to Ocoee just 5 years ago. So I think there is still a stigma attached to this community. I mean, it's not been that long ago when the first Black family moved back here in 1976. They bought the land and then moved into their home in 77, where they still live. And so while the racial makeup of the community has changed significantly, I mean, you're now at about 19-20% African American, a little bit more for Hispanic community. Um, there is still a stigma attached because for so long, for so many decades, it was a sundown town where Blacks just knew not to go. Even our local mayor for the county, Orange County mayor, who used to be the sheriff, he's the first Black sheriff, first Black mayor. He told a story at a memorial for an event marking the 100-year anniversary of this event. And he told a story about how he knew as a young kid not to go to Ocoee. Even when his brother bought a business in Ocoee where he now runs, just in recent years, he's like, bro, do you remember? Like, we weren't supposed to go to Ocoee. But I will tell you that I think there is a sense of pride now for Blacks who live in the community, knowing that they now live in a place where they weren't welcome. And not only do they live there, but they own businesses, they own land and property. Um, I think there is a sense of revelry that comes with that.